Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
I may find the time to try a door or two.
Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Was that Inquisition officer over there? You'll never get to talk to him. He wouldn't even dance with the Comtesse d'Argent.
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of course. Celine has something of her...
I have an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skyhold this summer.
You'd be bored the second you stepped past the gates. Skyhold is a fortified castle, not a holiday resort.
Don't you miss us?
Of course I do, Yvette. There's just so much work undone.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We will be happy to assist you if we can.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the ladies in waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. It seems strange to hold peace talks during a ball.
Oh, do your people have no customs surrounding great occasions? How sad.
By Orlesian tradition, moments of great solemnity are celebrated with revels and feasts.
While joyous occasions are given time for reflection and contemplation.
We must never forget that life is both bitter and sweet.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future, while we mourn those killed in the war.
What can you tell me about the other parties involved in the talks?
Gaspard is a decorated general, much beloved by the Imperial Army, and a legend among chevaliers.
He is better suited to the battlefield than the throne, and he would gladly make his palace a war camp.
He's also fiendishly charming.
Lady Briala has great intentions to change the lives of the elves for the better.
Even if her plans could never work and would only provoke hate crimes against alienages.
She is an idealist, but her lack of patience could prove disastrous.
What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Orlesians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Orlesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfels.
And she throws the best parties.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns Ambassador Briala. Her people have infiltrated every part of the Winter Palace.
This is extremely alarming, Inquisitor.
She could be spying on our every word.
How exciting!
She killed ambassadors from both Celine and Gaspard, and forged documents to both sides.
How despicable!
After the Empress extended her hospitality?
She's better at the game than we thought.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade!
Doesn't look like negotiations are going well.
Do you enjoy music, Commander?
Everyone enjoys music, madam.
Look at Lady Cambien's slippers, trimmed with pearls, and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Olay. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
I still remember the day they came to tell me that my second husband...
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
This could be worth checking out.
Someone will be held accountable for this.
must be the elves Briala's people are looking for.
We should search the area.
This was no servant. What was he doing here?
Does this guy seem out of place to anyone else?
The crest of the Chalon family. Duke Gaspard will answer for this.
Time to have a word with the Duke. Venatory agents! The Venatory were watching this approach. They're organized.
Fancy meeting you here. Inquisitor Llewellyn, slumming in the servants' quarters with the rest of your people, for once. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
Ambassador, is it? Whose ambassador are you exactly?
If the nobility is going to treat elves as if we are not citizens, we may as well have the trappings of a foreign power. You clean this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people, but you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
If I did kill him, what would you do?
Well, I wouldn't believe you, for one. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers, but killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too easygoing for a man plotting treason.
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador. I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
I need to get back before I'm missed.
Is that Elven? Odd to find it here.
I'll admit, I didn't think the Empress was this sentimental.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Inquisitor Lavalin. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Why am I not at all surprised that you want to see me now?
This is Orlais, Inquisitor. Nothing happens by accident. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. Have the Dalish gained a sudden passion for politics? What do you know about our civil war?
I assure you the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Floriane?
I hope we are of one mind on this.
In times like these, it's hard to tell friend from foe. Is it not, Your Grace?
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
An excellent question. I might ask the same of you, Your Grace.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
It's a relief to do something other than fight demons and horrors.
You still face demons and horrors. These ones are simply better dressed.
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Morrigan helped me get into the servants' quarters, where I found a group of Venatori, and Gaspard's dagger.
The man would truly do anything to become Emperor.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I thought we were here to stop the assassination.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais?
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thedas.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
I can't decide this. Not yet.
You must. Even inaction is a decision, Inquisitor.
You could speak to Celine in the ballroom, but she won't act. Not without proof.
If Gaspard is guilty, he'll admit nothing. If he's innocent, he knows nothing. We need the truth.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the royal wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access, and in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Inquisitor?
How do things look out there? Are the negotiations over yet?
Both the Empress and the Grand Duke look angry. This can't be good.
Inquisitor?
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales?
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I'd like to know more about you.
All of Orlais knows my story. But you, my friend, are far too sensible to be Orlesian. The heart of it is simple. I am the rightful heir to the throne of Orlais. But my cousin, Celine, is a politician, while I am a man of action. She charmed the Council of Heralds. They gave the crown to her, and while it looks fetching on her, I intend to take it back.
What's your claim to the throne?
The 100 Days Cough swept Val Royeaux in 877. It killed thousands of children, royalty and commoner alike. There are only 3 living grandchildren of Emperor Judicael I. Myself, my sister Floriane, and Celine. And I am the eldest. By rights, the crown should have passed to me.
If you're the rightful heir, how did Celine become Empress?
I am the oldest, but I lack the Valmont name. My mother was the late Emperor's sister. Celine is a Valmont. Her honored father was my mother's brother. But she is the youngest. When there is any doubt surrounding the line of succession, the matter falls to the Council of Heralds. Celine outplayed me, forming alliances on the Council for support. So they passed over me in her favor.
Just what are you claiming? Her crown or her head?
If Celine loses her head, it will not be my doing. I want my empire. I do not wish harm on my cousin, but I would not weep at her demise.
I have a question about the peace talks. What are you hoping to achieve at the negotiations?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celine stole the crown through politicking, but I am the rightful emperor of Orlais. The empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
What action did you have in mind?
The empire is declining. We cannot allow Nevarra and Ferelden to chip away our borders. I will see Orlais return to glory as the strongest nation in Thedas.
You intend to return to expansionism.
I like to solve problems in the simplest manner, my friend.
How have the negotiations been so far?
The port won't last the evening, I'm afraid. We will end the night with nothing settled. Which should surprise nobody, but it will disappoint my sister. I don't know why she had such high hopes for this ball. Floriane always was hopelessly optimistic.
If something were to happen to the Empress, how would that change your plans?
Celine has not declared an heir. If the Maker called her home, the crown would fall to me. But the Council of Heralds would try to implicate me in any misfortune. If they succeeded, the crown could pass to my sister, or one of our more distant cousins.
The Grand Duchess says you're plotting to kill Celine.
Resorting to rumor-mongering, Inquisitor? Come, we are beyond such childish stratagems. My sister would never say that. There are no words to convince me that Florian would turn on me.
In. It's about Briala. She's got people hidden among the servants all over the palace.
I suspected as much, but couldn't confirm it. She's a difficult adversary to predict. There's no telling what move she intends to make.
She's killed ambassadors and changed their documents.
You can prove this. Now that is interesting. What is she trying to accomplish? She bears closer watching than I thought.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about Celine. She had an elven locket sealed in the vault.
Briala's, no doubt. Was that sentiment, Celine? How unlike you. Blackmail, perhaps. Not quite damning enough for a scandal, but such a trinket could be useful leverage against one or both of them.
It's about you, in fact. Want to tell me why you were threatening the members of the Council of Heralds?
The language of politics, Inquisitor. If you cannot bribe politicians, you threaten them into backing down. Most of the Council are Celine's lapdogs. There was little chance I could win their support any other way.
There's a Council of Heralds emissary in the servants' quarters. Stabbed to death with your knife.
No. That's impossible. Who would try to pin such a crime on me? The elf? It seems unlike Celine.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
Is there something we may do for you?
We do so enjoy speaking with you.
We will speak to the Empress on your behalf.
I made a fascinating discovery. An elven locket in the Empress's vault.
Oh dear. That is very interesting.
I'll get Her Majesty.
Inquisitor, I regret that we did not have time to speak earlier. No doubt you have questions about many things.
The locket I found. It was a gift from Briala, wasn't it?
She gave it to me for my coronation. I don't know why I kept it. It was a foolish thing to do.
What made the two of you part ways?
She wanted change, and she thought I should deliver it. My word is law, Inquisitor, but laws don't command people's hearts. Culture does not transform itself overnight. I failed her. I should have dared more. But the past, like so many things, is beyond my command.
It's nice to see that even the Empress of Orlais makes mistakes.
Thank you for coming tonight, Inquisitor. I have business to attend, but I hope we will speak again.
Inquisitor Lavalin, how many of the guests have mistaken you for a kitchen servant? You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I had a question about you, Briala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. That's all that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean, we had a falling out?
She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
You just told me you have reason to betray the Empress.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
You might be interested in what I've found. It's about Gaspard. He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier Code.
You think Gaspard was behind the murder of that council emissary and the Tevinter agents in the servants' wing?
Gaspard is ruthless. He wants the throne, but to conspire with Tevinter? That's low even for him. If you intend to stop him, you'll need irrefutable proof. His supporters will accept nothing less. Celine will never end the talks until she has no other choice.
I found an elven locket hidden among Celine's things. This isn't yours, is it?
Let me see that. She kept this. What was she thinking? If Gaspard had found this, it would have ruined her.
So, this did belong to you?
It was my mother's. Carved from Vinadal wood. I gave it to Celine in happier times. She held on to it.
You might be interested in what I've found. It's about you, actually. I found the drop point, Briala. I know your people are hidden all over the palace.
Of course they are. I'd be a poor spy master if I didn't have spies, Inquisitor.
You murdered negotiators and stole their documents.
In Orlesian politics, Inquisitor, murder and intrigue barely count as trying. If that shocked you, wait until Celine shows her hand.
I want to know more about the peace talks. What are you hoping to gain from tonight's negotiations?
A voice. Simple enough, isn't it? My people have none. We've lived for centuries amid the lowest ranks of society. No one hears us. No one sees us. If the elves of Halam Shiral were elevated, if we had an elven noble at court, we'd have recognition. A voice.
How much can a single member of the court do?
It won't remake the world overnight, if that's what you're asking. Our problem is invisibility. The people in power are used to ignoring us. We're not actors. We're scenery. We need elves in positions where they can't be overlooked. We need to force humans to take us seriously.
How will you persuade the Empress to elevate an elf to nobility?
It is already in place. Celine knows she needs us to tip the balance of the civil war in her favor. All we have to do is wait. She'll exhaust her other options and come to us for help. Then, we'll name our price.
I assume the role of elevated noble will fall to you, Milady Briala.
Let's be honest, Inquisitor. The sole elven noble in the court isn't going to have a position of power and luxury. But that's the future. We need to focus on the task at hand.
If Celine were killed, what would happen to your plans?
Assuming I'm not the one blamed, it would be precarious. I've been working on Gaspard, but he's like a charging bull. It would be easier to rein him in if I had something that could hurt him.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
Where has that servant gone? Elves. Always shirking their
has anyone
duties.
ever told you that you have the most remarkable eyes?
Several times this evening, actually. Inquisitor, is there something you needed?
What's our best course of action?
Assuming the claims against Gaspard are false, I believe he'd be the strongest ally. But if it means Celine's death, can we make such a choice in good conscience?
Briala's an option.
One that only complicates matters further.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
I'll let you know at once if I do.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
Ugh. So many crimes of fashion.
Do you really think Briala should be given influence?
Celine has been in power long enough to expect support. If we secure her throne, she will be grateful. But such gratitude will pale beside that of one we raise up from nothing. Who is lower than the elf? If we place Briala in power, with Gaspard as her mask, her debt to us will be great indeed. And Gaspard will have the throne he has wanted. With conditions, of course. I suspect he will still find it gratifying.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Lady Inquisitor.
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, milady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celine knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well versed in the game. But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later?
Good evening, milady.
Where is that lazy elf? Gone to the cellar for more wine hours ago.
Are we ready to move out?
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
cannot believe you danced 4 times with Cyril de Montfort.
I cannot believe you did not dance at all. You spent the entire evening drinking water and glowering like a... And we should have stayed at home.
Good to know.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger?
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
I'm curious. What did you hear about the fight with the archdemon?
They say the army of the Inquisition fought a desperate stand at Haven against the forces of an old god. As the battle raged, you faced down evil incarnate. Spell against spell. Its forces had you trapped. And you cast down a mountain upon the archdemon and escaped.
Even if 1/10 of that is true, it's a remarkable feat.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
We just got word. Another Dalish clansman attacked.
Her Grace's Chamberlain has disappeared as usual.
Good to know.
Gaspar is wasting his time.
We need more servers in the ballroom. Where is everybody?
Should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Inquisitor, enjoying the ball, I hope.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
Did you hear what Gaspar said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Interesting.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales? Lady Nightingale makes me nervous. What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by
Lady
a
Nightingale makes me nervous.
Boring.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the council. Did you hear what Gaspar said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew.
Just gossip. Boring.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
Another time, my lord. I had no idea.
How does things look out there? Are the negotiations over yet?
I hope you're enjoying yourself.
The Grand Duke look angry. This can't be good.
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
I'll be back.
And well.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Fine by me.
I had no idea.
Are we going to sneak around to look through the Empress's unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss?
Hello? Is anyone there? Somebody? Anybody?
Stay back!
Oh, thank you.
It's all right now. You're safe.
Safe? I don't know if I believe in safe anymore. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace.
Well, not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
So this room belongs to Grand Duchess Floriane?
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else could send me here. It had to be Briala.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
What were you trying to find in Floriane's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
If there's a reason you distrust Briala, I want to hear it.
I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the...
Something like that could destroy Briala, if it were known.
No. Some know she has a history with the Empress. But they believe she was just a favored servant. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
What happened here?
You painted Orlesian assholes! When I get out of this, I'll butcher you like the pigs you are!
What happened?
It's not what it looks like. Honestly, I would have preferred it if it were what it looks like. The Empress led me to believe I would be rewarded for betraying the Grand Duke. This was not what I hoped for.
I can imagine what you thought your reward would be.
Please, I beg you, don't tell Gaspard. The Empress beguiled me into giving her information about plans for troop movements in the palace tonight. She knows everything. Everything. The Duke's surprise attack has been countered before it ever began. She's turned it into a trap. The moment he strikes, she'll have him arrested for treason.
I don't know which is worse. Celine for using such a tactic, or him for falling for it.
I'll protect you from Gaspard if you're willing to testify about Celine's trap.
I'll do anything. Anything.
Well, that was poor lesion.
Emissaries to Kal Shirak have yet to return. I doubt we'll find them alive.
So Balin decided to reach out to them after all?
Not directly. The emissaries came from the Merchant Guild, but the expedition was financed by the king.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Lords now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in
Do Gaspard want another bottle of bread? We'd better have 2 or 3 at the ready.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Lords now. Should have considered that before.
all the Delancers here.
Maker, I hope
The racist Chamberlain has disappeared as usual.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
We can only hope Celine prevails
I
tonight.
would love to hear about your
Gaspard
time in
will
camp.
ruin us all.
Ugh. So many crimes of fashion. I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
They'll never live this down.
Maximilian swept me at my feet. But with such a scandal, a fourth marriage to a man almost half my age.
Duke Cyril
Just merely being polite. Unlike some people.
Don't give me that. I've seen the way he looks at you.
Are we going to sneak around to look through the Empress's unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss? What happened here?
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
I fear I'm a bit busy at the moment, if you were looking for a dance partner.
Yes, I see that. Such a pity you did not save one final dance for me. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
You're Orlesian royalty. Why would you help Corypheus attack your empire?
You think so small, Inquisitor. Why settle for an empire when Corypheus will remake the entire world? I admit, I will relish the look on Gaspard's face when he realizes I've outplayed him. He always was a sore loser.
Why kill the Empress? What does Corypheus want to achieve?
Celine's death is a stepping stone on the path to a better world. Corypheus will enter the Black City and claim the godhood waiting for him. We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a united world, guided by the hand of an attentive god.
What exactly is in this for you?
The world, of course. I'll deliver the entire south of Thedas, and Corypheus will save me. When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
You're not being kind, Florian. He's got to get used to disappointment.
But not today, I think. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celine myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for years. Kill her. Bring me the marked hand as proof. It will make a fine gift for the Master.
Trust those tips. What was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
No more demons. It's safe.
Maker? I've never seen one that close before. I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard lured you out here.
Well, his sister. But it had to come from him, didn't it? And all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the mastermind.
Your accent sounds Ferelden. I thought you were one of Gaspard's mercenaries.
Born and raised in Denerim. Seems like I should have stayed there. The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, but he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Stinking punsy cheesemongers.
Want a new job? One that pays better. The Inquisition can always use a good mercenary company.
You hiring? I'm game. Anything's better than this bullshit. You want me to talk to the Empress, or the court, or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
The Grand Duchess is the assassin. Don't let her anywhere near the Empress.
Duchess? At once, Inquisitor.
Let all gathered attend. Her Imperial Majesty will now address the court.
Lords and ladies, as a nation, we mourn our sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, friends and lovers claimed by war. The sky is torn open, our divine is dead, and many fear the end of all things comes upon us. Orlais must stand as a bastion, a bulwark behind which all Thedas may take shelter. So has it stood for 1,000 years. So shall it ever stand. This would not have been possible without the efforts of many. Dear cousin, please step forward.
Grand Duchess, stand down!
Now! For Corypheus, kill them all!
Cullen, protect the people!
Yes, Inquisitor.
Beaten at every turn. You've taken the moment of my victory and left me in disgrace. And now you've chased a defenseless woman into the garden. Are you proud of yourself?
You were about to murder the Empress. We both know you're not defenseless.
True, you never were one to fall for my helpless damsel act. The night is still young. All I need to recover is to kill you, Inquisitor. So good of you to attend my soirée.
No!
Your sister attempted regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming, it was you.
You don't deny your involvement.
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did nothing.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing, or that you're trying so hard to play innocent and failing.
Enough. We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire, I will have answers.
Every one of you is implicated. You all conspired to allow this to happen.
That's a bold claim, Inquisitor. Are you prepared to defend it?
You allowed the Grand Duke to sneak soldiers in, hoping he'd make a politically foolish move.
That's duplicitous. Even for you, Celine.
You took the bait. I met your mercenary captain, Your Grace. He says you were ready to attack tonight.
Clever move. If you were trying to get hanged for treason.
And Briala was playing both of you. She murdered your ambassadors and sent you each forged letters.
Even if I did, you can't touch me.
No one will defend you once it's revealed that you and Celine were lovers when she burned Halam Shiral's alienage.
You've made your point. What do you want?
If you don't want your dirty secrets revealed, you'll all do as I say and work together.
You realize this can only end in disaster. I cannot believe you want to make a speech. This is foolish.
We have no choice. The nobility requires an answer for what happened.
Unless you want to pretend the war was all a dream. That would go over well. No more dithering. We make the cut swift and clean. Kindest to all of us.
Lords and ladies of the court, we are pleased to announce that an accord has been reached. Our cousin Gaspard will now hold a place of honor in our cabinet.
Friends, we assembled are the leaders of the Empire. We must set the example for all Thedas. We cannot be at war with each other, while the Fade itself challenges our borders.
We must stand united or surely we will fall alone.
There will be no second chance for us. We cannot afford to be divided.
We will bury our dead, tend our wounded, and ready ourselves for the next charge, as all true Orlesians must.
But tonight, we celebrate the arrival of peace. Let the festivities commence!
The Orlesian nobility make drunken toasts to your victory, and yet you are not present to hear them. Do you tire so quickly of their congratulations, Inquisitor? 'Tis most fickle, after all your efforts on their behalf.
Everyone suddenly wants to talk to me. You, at least, I'm glad to see.
Then I have happy news, as you shall be seeing a great deal more of me. By imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Celine wishes to offer you any and all aid, including mine. Congratulations.
What skills do you have that would benefit us?
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus, thus it behooves you to add to your arcane arsenal, yes? Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close, after all.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages, do you mean blood magic?
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yes? Should thought of that frighten you, allow me to offer reassurance. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal to make use of or ignore as you desire.
I had no idea you were interested in joining the Inquisition.
The assignment has been given to me, regardless of my personal interest. Celine knows you face an opponent who wields great magical power, which is far more important than her own curiosity. You will require my knowledge if you are to defeat such magic. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais and to myself. Thus, I am not opposed to the appointment.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
Is everything all right? You look troubled.
I'm just worn out. Tonight has been very long.
It was a tumultuous evening, but Orlais is safe now. It was worth the struggle. Is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? A drink, perhaps?
Would you care to dance with me, Lady Josephine?
I would love to, my lady.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lady Inquisitor. Please, may I have a word with you?
Just when you've solved one crisis, another springs up to take its place.
I am sorry to place this burden on your shoulders, but you are the only one who can help. With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared from their duties.
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Why do you need Liliana and Cassandra?
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They represent her legacy, her hopes for peace in Thedas. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
I don't understand. What is it you're asking of them?
We need them to serve as candidates for the role of Divine. Everyone with the political support to succeed Justinia perished alongside her. Those who remain are unable to gather the majority of votes from the conclave of Grand Clerics. They have been deadlocked for too long. Lady Liliana and Seeker Cassandra were Justinia's most trusted friends and advisors. Our late divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, clerics might support one of them as successor.
How long does the Chantry need them?
Several months, at least. If one of them is crowned divine, she would not be returning to the Inquisition.
These aren't just any two people. They're key members of the Inquisition.
For the sake of Thedas, we must ask you to make this sacrifice.
This will have to be settled later. The Inquisitor has only just returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother. Don't let them detract from your victory at Alam-Shiral. The support of the Empire should make our search for the Grey Wardens easier. Varric is eager to help his friend Hawk.
Now this is a hall worthy of the Inquisition.
Where's my hammer? That one. For that.
Inquisitor.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Inquisitor, Do you have a moment? What were you like before the anchor? Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
If it had, do you really think I'd have noticed?
No. That's an excellent point.
Why do you ask?
You show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
What have I done that's so surprising?
You have shown subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I expected. If the Dalish could raise someone with a spirit like yours, have I misjudged them?
I don't hold the Dalish up as perfect, but we have something worth honoring. A memory of the ancient ways.
Perhaps that is it. I suppose it must be. Most people act with so little understanding of the world, but not you.
So what does this mean, Solus?
It means I have not forgotten the kiss.
Good. Don't go.
It would be kinder in the long run, but losing you would... Arlath Mavanan.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
This is supposed to make sense. I'm judging a box.
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
Strangely enough, something similar happened to an uncle of Emperor Leandra II. His trade routes were returned to the reigning monarch. Why don't we just follow suit?
A wise choice. Thank you for making it swiftly.
It was interesting to see how much has changed in Halam Shiral. And so little.
Madame Méprise is a fixture. The sun will grow cold before she retires. I have requests for information on your lineage from a few interested parties at the Winter Palace.
Andraste preserve me. Feel free to use those requests as kindling.
No, I shall take them. I want to know who pines for our commander. We can use this to our advantage.
I'm not bait.
Hush. Just look pretty. Inquisitor. Let us begin.
All right.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was en masse, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royal, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. I It's disturbing. So few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
You'd think the game's greatest players would spot a murderer in their midst.
As I said, insularity. Familiar rivals become the only ones worth sparring with. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Playing the game was thrilling. We did just make history.
Indeed. Tales of this affair have begun circulating in Val Royeaux. Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his accounts of the evening.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
I'm not a hunter. Why do you think I can help?
This beast is not hunted for sport, as other wyverns sometimes are. It is far more deadly. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched to either kill the creatures or drive them away from villages. Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
I can't make heads or tails of this. Age regression, who is this potion for?
You acquitted yourself well enough in the game, my dear, and now you have the gratitude of an empire. Well done.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
I am able to pursue my duties with optimal efficiency, thanks to Skyhold's present state.
As you were?
Yes, Inquisitor.
believe my father's gall. Of course, he couldn't come here to Skyhold. No, that would be too much. But contacting some southern cleric on the sly, much wiser. If this is some Venatori connivance, I will be utterly disappointed.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
No one would fault you for abandoning ship, you know.
Out of the ship, and straight into the sea. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
No. We don't want that.
And the Chantry can see that it doesn't happen. The people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to follow. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems. They tell me you have a gift for shadows and blades.
When you put it that way, it makes it sound so elegant.
It does, doesn't it? Mysterious. Even romantic. Pretending it's something else sometimes makes it easier. As your spy master, may I say that I am pleased. My agents appreciate that they can look at the Herald and see themselves. Have I ever talked about my friend Zevran? He was an Antivan crow. He wasn't always good at it. We only met because he failed to kill a mark. But he made me laugh.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the Warden who entered the Blight, don't you?
I count him among my friends. I still write to him for advice when I can. He hasn't replied to my letters in some time. I try not to worry about it. He can take care of himself.
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the Chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the Chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly. I did encounter the champion again later in Kirkwall. Those were terrible times.
Was this when the Chantry was destroyed?
No, that happened later. But even then, the news coming out of Kirkwall was disheartening. There were some in Val Royeaux who wanted the Divine to declare an exalted march on Kirkwall. Justina sent me there to see if that could be avoided, to gather evidence to calm those agitating for war. I guess it didn't matter in the end.
What do you know of Morrigan?
She's changed. She used to be so disagreeable, cruel. She said things just to hurt people. Now the sharp edges have worn away. Perhaps it was Kieran. He seems so normal, like any other little boy. And so polite. Not that I was expecting anything else. I mean... never mind.
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
I hope you know that I didn't turn over Briala lightly. If I'd had another option...
What? Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Who do you have much in common with? Who are your people?
A good question. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Briala is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
You're an admirable man. Not many people know who they are the way you do.
Thank you. Both for saying that and for seeing that. Few in this world can see me, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears.
Sorrow, heartbreak, the drama of it all. So much lost. Attention. Still, hope springs eternal.
Your worship,
What is your evaluation of our supplies?
we are groaning with resources. A reflection of your competence and inspiration.
As you were.
Of course, Inquisitor.
Though you had granted them power over the very Fade itself, though they sang hymns of praise unending, though they could
Your
do
worship.
anything, they destroyed nothing.
Farewell.
Created nothing.
Be well, Inquisitor.
Loved nothing.
You're the Inquisitor. Mother never told me the Inquisitor was an elf.